How's everybody doing? We'll take a little bit of time, see if anybody wants to get on, and gonna be, I don't know how long. Who knows? It may be a really short one, maybe a really long one. We'll see what happens when I start going through it. But so the title of the video that I made this was when reality slaps you up a little bit, right? So I had somebody that challenged me to take a personality test recently, and so I did, and I took this test. It had been a while since I took a test like this, and this one's called the 16 Personalities. I think that's what it is. And it's different than the colors, obviously, but I took it, and I thought, it's going to be the same thing, right? No, it wasn't. So what I'm going to challenge you guys on is, and this is what it is, the little slaps in life that we all have to endure, that make us who we are, that shape who we are, that change who we are. We may think we have an idea of who we are, and then stuff happens, and stuff makes us reassess what's important. So I took this test, and I've always looked at myself, always thought of myself, even as recently as last week, and said, I am an introvert. I'm a situational extrovert. Well, according to this test, there is no situational about it. I'm an extrovert. So I'm like, whoa, what happened there? That was kind of my identity, you know, the solitary, sit out in the woods guy. As I went through the test and I took it, it was one thing, but when I started reading through the description, and this one actually I enjoyed because it gave you a deep description on what everything was. But as I started going through what the descriptions were for each of these different personality traits, there was things in there that, and this friend even said, oh yeah, that's you 100%. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. And then there was the things that came up and I said, no. This test is wrong. There's no way that can be me. No way. I'm not that way. And then I started to really, I had to go back, because I've said many times before that when you're reading a book, or Shannon, I think it's called the 16 Personalities. When you're reading a book or you're taking one of these tests, the things that make you, that you agree with 100%, or the things that you don't agree with and make you actually kind of make you angry, are the ones you need to really start. You kind of need to look at it and reassess a little bit, and contemplate and think about what that means to you, and why it's making you mad, or why it's not making you mad, but just making you think sometimes. And it did it. I mean, there's some of these that I still am working through, that I'll still work through for a while, probably. And you know, we talk about all the time where if you're not growing and moving forward, you're moving backwards. And in taking this test, it really made me think and realize, over the last, I don't know how many years, well, since I probably started with Brenda, so 7-8 years, how much working on myself has changed my outlook, my opinions, who I am. And sometimes it's hard to admit it. It's hard to admit that, because that's, you know, you've got this identity of who you are, or of who you think you are, and to go with that change piece. I mean, it sometimes it goes against everything you've created, whether you've created it just up here. So I guess that's what I really want you to think about. Don't be afraid to do these types of tests. I mean, try and get out of here when you give your answers. Get into here when you give your answers. Do less of this, more of just going through and giving the answers. And then go through the explanation when you're done with an open mind, because I can almost guarantee you, if you put any effort into that personal development, finding out who you really are as a person, working on who you really are as a person over time, what's going to happen is maybe some of these preconceived ideas that you had, these programmed things that were programmed into you at a young age, whether it was from your parents, school teacher, clergy, spouse, I mean, whatever that looks like, those things can change. Sometimes they change for the worse, depending on what you're feeding here. But if you're feeding good things here, man, it changes for the better. Huge. I'd like to think that I've changed for the better. But again, that's the thing I'm going to challenge you guys to do, I guess. I guess that was my big aha moment, was that stuff changed. I changed. In as little as 7 years, heck, in as little as 3 years, 2 years even. Some big changes. Didn't even realize it. I was still playing off of my original dogmatic ideas and preconceived notions that I had here, the recordings that I was playing over and over here. And I think I'm finally getting to the point where I'm going to give myself, I have given myself now permission to act on the new things, the revelations that I found after taking these tests, or this test. And it's okay. That's what I'm going to challenge you guys to do. I'm going to challenge you to be okay with accepting. I mean, you spend all this time and all this energy and effort and sometimes money to improve yourself. I'm going to challenge you to actually embrace it. Embrace who you've improved to be. I'm going to try it, so I'll challenge you to do the same thing. So hopefully it makes sense. Hopefully this wasn't just a rambling shop talk. And I don't know, I can't hardly see anything. I don't know if it's just my internet connection out here, but I can't hardly see anything as far as real-time comments. I'll give it, if anybody's got any questions as I'm going through this, I'm just going to give you a little time to ask a question. I'm going to try and go on Facebook and see if I can see it. No, ain't seeing nothing. So anyway, that's my challenge, guys. I think try it. Try it and see where you are and who you are. And if you're going to work that hard at it. If you're going to work that hard at becoming something better and something different, allow yourself to become something better and something different. Don't get stuck with the old ideas of who you are or what you think people think you should be. You're the only one that knows what you should be. Your Creator's the only one that knows what you should be, what you were destined to do and destined to be. So I'm going to leave it at that. Hope you all have a great rest of the week. Yeah, have a great weekend. Catch y'all later.